Hey everyone, it's Sarada and I scribble, and this is the artwork for today. It's Maho from Mushi-shi. For today I'm going to do stippling, which is very exciting. I have done some tries, actually, but there you have. This is the stippling. You do a bunch of dots, and the tighter the dots are, the more shading you get. I'm sorry about my dog. And you can see here is all my Maho pre-sketches. I have a lot more here somewhere. Yeah, Maho was very difficult for me to figure out, so I did a whole bunch of sketches. But yes, I'm going to do stippling today, and for that I have these two liners. I'm going to try and use the Faber-castell the most because I still haven't used it up and I want to buy a new one, but I can't because this one isn't dead yet. So I'm going to use this as much as I can. I have the Artline as a backup. They're both waterproof, which is why I am using these. Ink wash, I actually got my dip pens finally in the mail, so I might be using this one as well. And my Indian ink, which is also what's in my ink wash. So I'm gonna get right into this now. First of all, I am giving up on trying to make this a one-take voiceover because it's just not working. My dog is being so mean. He's making noise and interrupting me, so I'm just gonna give up. This entire painting took 3.5 hours, no joke, and usually I spend maybe 1 to 1.5 hours on an Inktober piece, so stippling takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. But even if it took quite a while, I still really enjoyed doing it. I was also watching an anime at the same time, which was kind of the reason why it also took long, because I kept stopping to watch it. It was too good. Maho is a really cute kid though, no joke. Look at this kid! I mean, how can you not love him? He's so cute! Look! Yeah, Maho is really cute, testified by my moment of fangirling. I forgot the pattern on his kimono, so I had to go in and transfer it very lightly onto the kimono using my makeshift light table, and then I could ink wash it into the design. You can't see the sketch lines for the pattern. I can, barely. I also decided to go in with the dip pen once I realized the pattern didn't really show up, and line it using a very dark gray ink wash that I had mixed up. I just dropped a drop of water into like 2 drops of ink and made this sort of gray tone ink. And the dip pen was really useful because it made these really thin lines that I absolutely wanted and needed to make the pattern look like it was on the fabric and not on top of it. Does that make sense? But I simply just continued to layer up the ink to create shadows and darken the colors of the different areas. That is one thing I love about ink wash. It dries really quickly compared to watercolor, so I could just go in right after the first layer was done because it was already dry. Here you can see me starting on the stippling, which took up most of the time, honestly. I went with a very static method, but a repetitive method, so I'm gonna cut out a lot of it. What you're watching right now is 30 times normal speed, so even though I'm going really fast, it doesn't look too fast, honestly. I can still see what I'm doing, and I hope you can follow along as well. But basically I followed the swirl and stippled only on one side of it, and I stippled first lightly, and then I went in a little darker right next to the line to create this sort of 3D-ish effect. This clip in particular is only 20 times the normal speed. It looks very slow. I just don't get it. It takes such a long time to do the stippling, but you don't realize it while you're doing it. I thought my hand would be tired, but it's not. I actually feel pretty okay. So these shells, they are the Mushi for that episode, and it's actually 2 Mushi. They're called A and Un, and there's only one A in this picture because it was more rare than the Un Mushi. The difference between them was that one swirled in one direction and the other swirled in the opposite direction. So if you can find "ah" in this picture, kudos to you. The deal with these mushes was that they ate sound, and they either nested together in this shell form, or they nested in people's ears and made them deaf while consuming all the sound that they absorbed. These feelers you can see are actually the mushi unraveled, because they would nest as a shell, and then when they found a human or an animal to nest in, they would unravel and slip into their ear and nest in that shell you have in your ear. So yeah. For the feelers, I'm gonna keep calling them that, I used different tones. So I first went in with one layer of ink wash on the ones that was furthest back, and then I went in with 2 layers on the ones I wanted to keep to the front. I realized though that I wanted a 3rd layer, so I mixed up some dark ink wash and painted just a few of them. Inking Maho's hair with pure black because his hair was pretty dark to begin with. And I'm almost done now. I did go back and ink wash some of the shells as well, because I just felt like the shells were pretty flat compared to the rest of the drawing. So I went in and darkened up some of them, filled in with a little extra shading here and there, just to sort of keep the dimension through the picture. I think if I had left everything flat colored, if I hadn't shaded Maho so much, I could have left the shells completely white. But we're now at the end of the video. Finally, my voiceover is finished almost. But here you have some close-up pans of the drawing. I'm really satisfied with it. It turned out really nice. And Inktober day 13 is over. I can't believe I've lasted almost 2 weeks. Like, drawing-wise, I was pretty sure I was going to be able to finish, but video-wise, I've done videos every day for almost 2 weeks. It's kind of insane. Either way, video's over, as I said, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!